I slept with 63 men. Now that was fabulous.
I see what you're saying, but I'm always coming from a place of compassion. But I listen to people talk as well. And when you glorify something first, and then you get a response, and then that response tells you to say, well, no, don't do that. I want that response first, because that's how you're supposed to teach someone.
When did she glorify it? I want to know when that happened.
I slept with 63 men. Now that was fabulous. But
oh my gosh, give me some of that.
Yeah, no, you don't want that.
That was fabulous. Let's pause right there. Was that glorifying, or was that saying what I did was wrong?
If a man who used to sell the poison to his community tells you that that's what he used to do, but he finna tell you that ain't what you want, that's not glorification. That is a fact. Y'all hear testimonies because it was fabulous. You know how good sex feel, baby. And like, especially if all 63 of them was good, man, if she ain't never had, if 63 of them wasn't even no bad dick, man, let me tell you something.
I've actually, even as a man, have been sexually violated and taken advantage of. A lot of men don't want to admit something like that.
Chicago, he said he wanted empathy. He said it himself.
No,
through
but what
the
I'm
trauma that
saying,
he went through a rough life. And then what you want empathy from us?
no, but here's the
Man,
thing.
like when you sneeze, you might chop my damn shoulder off. No, you cannot dismiss empathy from everybody else and then expect empathy back. No, that's not how this thing works. At all. This is nobody can have empathy for you.
Discover that you were bipolar. Like what let you know that hey, maybe there's something going on?
No, I had a nervous breakdown.
You did?
I went down after all the deaths from AIDS, the AIDS epidemic.
This is in the...
Yeah, this is early 90.
Early 90s.
Right at the height of it.
Oh my
89,
goodness.
90. I'd known 200 people that died. And when I tell you they died like flies, they dropped like flies. I mean, you'd come home and 3 would be dead. You'd come home, 5 would be dead on the phone machine. It was a time, it didn't make sense because we were too young to experience that kind of death. You can deal with that when you're wiser and your older friends are dying. But that young, we were in our 20s, for God's sake. All the boys in the Broadway shows, everybody was gay. We were all carrying on and acting out. And here's the thing. I had a nervous breakdown. And
oh my goodness.
A girlfriend whom I respected looked at me and said, "What's wrong with you, Jenifer?" I'm like, "Bitch, I'm Jenifer Lewis. Nothing wrong with me."
Yeah.
She said, "Jen, you might need help." So but I went in kicking and screaming because I admired her. And you listen to people you respect.
Yeah.
But when you're in that manic state, you ain't listening to nobody. You just want to be high. You want to be seen.
Yeah.
There's a desperation attached to that neediness.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I went in and got treatment.
Yeah.
And I'm doing pretty damn good right now. I'm Kiki.
Yeah.
If you do the work, because it doesn't matter what you are, it will always come down to who you are.
What did you find that really helped you? Because obviously a lot of times when people are dealing with disorders, bipolar and things of the mind, you might get on a medication and it might take everything away.
You have to monitor it. You have to be willing. First of all, you have to want to be well.
Yeah.
You can't go, "Oh, this is hurting me." Well, if it's hurting, go and get it managed. Like when I started medication, I got dry mouth.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, what is that?" I went to the dentist and he said, he said, "Did you just take a new medication?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, this is one of the side effects." He said, "So lower the milligrams."
Yeah, you got to get
you got to wait for your levels. Every human body is different. But the thing is people don't have the patience. They're like, "Ooh, I don't like the way this makes me feel." Okay, well, then if you want to speed in a car and around and kill somebody on the freeway, I think it's worth taking a little time to manage these meds, if meds is the way you want to go. I never promote that. Yeah. I promote treatment.
Come on, bro. She barring it. Come on.
And just real quick, I just want to respond to Chicago. And respectfully, I mean, I see what you're saying, and I agree with you in a lot of ways. But when I deal with young people, I mean, I've always dealt with young people. I have a very soft spot in my heart for young people. Love them, always work with them, and so many things that I do in my life. You'll see, keep checking me out or whatnot. But at any rate, I'm nothing more than some dirt in a shirt. But I do deal with young people in the aspect that I've been a teacher for a long time. I love kids, and I make sure that they actually understand what consequences are. I actually understand what it means to go through something. I've been through a lot in my life, and I'm sure I can relate to them in so many different ways that I'm not going to speak on, that a lot of people can. So just to say that, I mean, I see what you're saying, but I'm always coming from a place of compassion. But I listen to people talk as well. And when you glorify something first, and then you get a response, and then that response tells you to say, well, no, don't do that. I want that response first because that's how you're supposed to teach someone. You show them the error first and that you're not thinking of that same mentality. That's how you coach someone when you're a coach,
Wait,
when you do it the right way.
where
This is crazy.
where
Go ahead,
was
bro.
the glorification? When did she glorify it? I want to know when that
Where?
happened.
Okay. So, I mean, JR, I mean, you can play it again, or I mean, I got it right here at the spot. I can unpause it and you can hear it verbatim.
Go ahead.
Oh shit.
Shut up,
God
Sharon.
damn. My bad.
I hit the freaking wrong button.
We need to do some damn
Hold up, give me a
push-ups.
second.
Take your time. I want to see this.
At least start with 2 a day. Work your way up to 10.
Wait,
Um,
is that Sharon body shaming that dude and then trying to defend a hoe?
Absolutely.
Bo, not even
God
so much
damn.
as that. When we say, I definitively can correct the youth, and like I don't even come across as I just talk about the work that I do with them.
Chicago Gorilla, he said he wanted empathy. He
No,
said it
but
himself.
no,
Through
but
the
what I'm
trauma that
saying,
he went through a rough life. And then
we
what you want empathy from us?
no, but here's the
Man, look like
thing.
when you sneeze, you might chop my damn shoulder off. No, you cannot dismiss empathy from everybody else and then expect empathy back. No, that's not how this thing works at all. This is
And
no
then
way I
claim
can
to be
have empathy
Christian.
for you.
hmm
All
Are
right.
you crazy?
I want.
All right, I can play it now.
Yeah, go ahead.
No shame in my game. Yeah, bitch, it happened. I slept with 63 men. Now that was fabulous. But oh my gosh, give me some of that. Yeah, no, you don't want that.
Just cut it
Did you
off.
get a
Just cut it off.
contradiction?
Just cut it
So
off.
no no
So
no no no
where's
no
the
no.
You know what,
Explain to
y'all?
me. No. We're gonna
Please,
get through
Bruiser,
this.
don't go, Bruiser.
Explain to me
We up all
what
night,
was.
Bruiser.
Explain to me how that was glorification. Like, what? Explain that to me. Like I'm 5.
Okay. So she brought up her past trauma,
Mm-hmm.
and then she said, "Yeah, B, I slept with 63 men. Now that was fabulous." Let's pause right there. Was that glorifying, or was that saying what I did was wrong? What on
So
the
okay,
spectrum? On
what?
the
Oh,
spectrum.
okay. So if a drug dealer says, can I say that on YouTube?
Yeah.
If a man who used to sell the poison to his community tells you that that's what he used to do, no, listen, has changed his life and all of that, but told you what he used to do and was like, man, I made so much money, but he finna tell you that ain't what you want. That's not glorification. That is a fact. That's just like y'all hear testimonies because it was fabulous. You know how good sex feel, baby. And like, especially if all 63 of them was good, man. If she ain't never had, if 63 of them wasn't even no bad dick, man, let me tell you something. But it's not glorification, it's literally just a fact. You all are hearing a fact, and only because it's coming from a woman, and you and your male brain cannot comprehend the fact that a woman can get pleasure from sex, but also say, I need to heal myself from this. That was not right. Go through the change, go through learning and healing and learning better and living better and looking back and saying, I slept with 63 men. It was fabulous. But you see what I'm saying? Like, it's not glorification. And I see how your man brain can see that. But it's not,
And
it's just
also, Bo,
a fact.
what he missing, Bo, what he also missing, Bo, is that she got interrupted. So you never got to see if she was going to actually glorify or correct it later. She was just saying in that time when she was in the promiscuous and she was not in her right state of mind, yeah, oh man, that was great. Until we don't know what she didn't get interrupted. She probably said, but until I got the healing, blah, 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 and it
Yeah,
went
but
too
she
far.
also came back, Sharon, and talked
Manipulated
about the
herself.
AIDS, the people that she knew that died from AIDS.
Right.
Yeah, but
It,
again, we're
Comprehension skill,
talking
and,
about
and, and
first. The
it's sad
first
to hear
thing
that
that
this
you
is a
said
teacher. This is a teacher
was
that
the
that
fact
cannot
that
comprehend. You know how sad that is that this is a teacher that can't comprehend. This is what he is one
Dr.
of the
Phil, you a
reasons why.
teacher?
This is one of the reasons. He is one of the reasons
Oh,
why I took my
why don't
children
let him
out of
push back?
school. This is one of the reasons why I took my children out of school, because of teachers like him that can't comprehend.
Right.
Talking about he's a great teacher and he's a great role model.
Damn.
You don't even recognize. You don't look in the mirror. You need to look in the mirror and check your damn self and realize that you have a faulty thinking.
Why
but
don't y'all
but
let the
here's
man
the
push back?
Something before
But
I head off. Sorry.
okay.
I agree and disagree on both sides. I think that and I don't even want to say sides, but I think that I don't think she's sorry for sleeping with 63 men. Doesn't seem like she's regretful, right? It seems like, in a sense, she is glorifying it by saying that it is fabulous, which I don't necessarily agree with. I do agree with the fact that, you guys know the people who had funky breath back in the day in school, right? That's what you always see. You always think about that. You can see them 20 years later, and you're always going to remember them as the ones with the funky breath in school. Same, no different than sex. Somebody's a hoe when they're younger. Doesn't mean that they're not lovable, that they don't deserve a different, another chance at being in a relationship just because maybe they did whatever. I don't think that people should hold somebody's past over top of them to where they can't have chances in life. However, it's just a fact that, it's just what it is. Like, it's a label that you've had when you were younger, and people don't forget it. I also think that people do need to what Bo was saying a little bit, people do need to consider a person's trauma and how they can affect them. And it doesn't mean that this is an excuse, but what it means is that and I'm giving this an example, if a person was young, a young woman, when she was younger, she was molested and raped all throughout her whole young childhood, right? Most of the time, she's going to be hypersexual. It doesn't mean that, okay, you know what? You get a pass. Go ahead. You can, because you had this happen to you, you can go ahead and have sex with whoever you want. It doesn't mean that. It just means that to put things into context and understand why a person may have certain behaviors, because trauma affects a person's brain. It's just factual. It's just what it is. Trauma affects the brain, and it's not, everybody's not affected the same. Me, Bo, and Miss Pearl could all go through the same thing, and we can all have different trauma responses. I train on trauma and how it affects the brain. I work with young kids, anywhere from 13 all the way down to up to 24. So I see a lot of this stuff. I see a lot of the kids in the inner city, and I see what they do. And sometimes they don't even have parents to guide them. It doesn't mean that they don't get another chance in life. It just means that they may need a little extra love and support. So that's really all I wanted to say about
Can I
that.
ask you a question, Jay?
And respectfully, I just want to say real quick, my bad.
Hold
Hey,
on, Phil.
respectfully,
Hold on, Phil. Let me ask
I
you a
respect
question
what
real
you
quick.
just said there, Miss J. But go ahead.
Dr. Phil, I'm about to ask her a question real quick. Can I, if I can, Jay? I don't want to hold
Yeah.
you longer than what.
No, go ahead.
If let's just say a young boy grew up and he has a traumatic experience that caused him to be a serial killer. And he said he killed 63 people, but he repented, all that. If I call him a murderer, am I dismissing his traumatic past?
No, absolutely not.
Okay,
And I'll say
that's
for
all I wanted
me,
to know.
yeah, I'll say so I understand what you're saying. For me, like Jay Prince being here, I have a soft spot in my heart for this man that everybody always talks trash about. But I look at a person who does something like that and I have empathy for them. That's just me. And I think it's probably because why I'm in this field, because I've had my own sexual trauma, so I can understand from a different level as opposed to just knowing from the outside. But I do have that empathy for a person. It doesn't take away what you've experienced. It
Miss
just
J, are you a therapist or a social worker?
a little bit of both.
I don't know
Social
what that
worker,
means
but
unless you don't want to disclose that. I mean, I'm actually going for a degree, and that will.
I have my doctoral. No, I'm joking.
Oh Lord, you're a PhD.
No, I'm joking. But yeah,
Go ahead, Miss Pearl, ready to jump in.
I know Dr.
But
Phil was going to
see,
ask a question.
no, but to your point,
So
Miss
what?
J, you're. I mean, and you spoke beautifully then. And again, this is why I don't think it's just a man thought process. Kind of what Bo was just kind of alluding to by saying it was just a man thinking aspect, because you actually said that so eloquently. And that's what grace is for me. Grace for me is something that you move with when you're listening to people and you're hearing them out. So, I mean, I'm nothing without it. I've actually, even as a man, have been sexually violated and taken advantage of. A lot of men don't want to admit something like that because people look at him like, oh, well, he's less of a man. But that's okay. So it doesn't feel good. But again, when you speak, try to speak from a place of not saying something is fabulous when you're trying to actually recant and retract the trauma that came with it, or the degradation, right, that actually follows it. These are real things that happen in real life. And when you actually try to play with it and just, grandstand to an extent, this is fabulous. Like, come on,
Hey,
that's not
Sharon,
necessary.